Did you stop talking to your friends? Or did you stop to talk to your friends? Welcome to English on the Mark. My name is Marek Pena, and today we will cover gerunds and infinitives. And more specifically, we will look at some common verbs followed by gerunds or infinitives. Make sure you watch till the end, because the most important category, in my opinion, will be covered towards the end of this lesson. But let's start with the basics. What is a gerund? Essentially, a gerund is a noun. Even though a gerund looks like a verb, it is used as a noun. It functions as a noun. How do we form gerunds? Gerunds are formed by adding ing to the base form of a verb. For example, let's take the word travel. Travel is the base form. And when we add ing to it, we end up with the word traveling, which is a gerund. As a side note, you can see from this example that the gerund traveling has a single L in American English and a double L in British English. It does not matter which form you use, but try to be consistent with your spelling. So when you are writing, try to stick to either American or British way of spelling, but don't mix them together. Okay, so let's look at more examples here. Eat plus ing, eating. Sleep plus ing, sleeping. Enjoy plus ing, enjoying. And this is how we form gerunds. So let's look at some common verbs which can only be followed by a gerund. Number 1, enjoy. I enjoy traveling. She enjoys reading. They enjoy not working late. Number 2, avoid. John avoids doing his homework. My friend avoids eating fried food. Number 3, postpone. Maria has postponed traveling to Malaysia. I have postponed moving to Brazil. So these verbs can only be followed by a gerund. You cannot say, I enjoy to travel, or John avoids to do his homework, or Maria has postponed to travel to Malaysia. Please remember, there are many verbs which can only be followed by gerunds. And there's no easy way to decide which verbs are followed by the ing form. So if you're not sure, check it in a good dictionary. So let me list a couple more verbs which can only be followed by a gerund. Consider, delay, feel like, keep as in continue, miss, recommend, suggest. And there are many more verbs that follow this pattern. Now, let's quickly talk about infinitives. There are 2 types of infinitives in English. The first type is a grammatical form consisting of the word to plus the base form of a verb. For example, to go, to learn, to fly are all infinitives. The second type is called the bare infinitive, or the base form, and that's the verb without to. In this lesson, we're focusing on the to infinitives. And of course, there are many common verbs that can only be followed by to infinitives. Number 1, expect. She didn't expect to see me. He expects to start his new job next month. Number 2, manage. They managed to find a great restaurant in their neighborhood. He managed to pay off his student loans. Number 3, pretend. Chris pretended to be busy. Hannah pretended to care about his problems. And here is a list of additional verbs that can only be followed by 2 infinitives. Agree, decide, fail, hope, seem, strive. Now, let's tackle the third category. This group covers verbs that can be followed by both gerunds and infinitives. It doesn't matter which form you use, because the meaning doesn't really change. Number 1, start. I started learning English when I was 19. I started to learn English when I was 19. Number 2, love. Anna loves buying things on Amazon. Anna loves to buy things on Amazon. And since we have here the word love, we gotta use the word hate. Number 3, hate. And this is true about me. I hate cooking. I hate to cook. Other verbs that can be followed by both gerunds and infinitives are begin, can't stand, continue, like, prefer. Finally, let's talk about the last category, which I think is the most important one. This group covers verbs that can be followed by a gerund or an infinitive. However, they have a very different meaning depending on which form you use. Let's look at the first verb, which was already mentioned at the beginning of this lesson. And it's the verb stop. Jessica stopped talking to her friends. Versus Jessica stopped to talk to her friends. Stop plus ing is used to indicate that the action is not happening anymore. So Jessica is no longer talking to her friends. Perhaps she had a heated argument with her friends, and she decided she didn't want to speak to them anymore. Stop plus to infinitive means to stop doing something in order to do something else. So Jessica stopped whatever she was doing at that moment in order to talk to her friends. Maybe she was at Starbucks reading a book, and when she saw her friends coming in, she put the book away and she started talking to her friends. Number 2, remember. Peter remembered reading the book. Versus Peter remembered to read the book. Remember plus ing looks back at the past. We look at the things that we did in the past. We remember something that happened in the past. So here, Peter read the book first, and then he remembered that he had read it. So you remember doing something after you have done it. So first you do it, and then you remember doing it. Remember plus to infinitive focuses on remembering to do something or remembering to complete a task. So here we kind of look forward in time. We look at things that we still need to do or we still needed to do. So here, first, Peter remembered that he needed to read the book. Then he read the book. So you first remember and then you do it. Number 3, forget. Maria will never forget meeting Lady Gaga. Versus David forgot to pay the credit card bill. So the verb forget, used with a gerund or an infinitive, is interpreted in the same way as the verb remember. Number 4, regret. I regret lending Nathan $500. He never paid me back. Versus, we regret to inform you that you failed the test. Regret plus ing focuses on the past. I did something and now I am sorry about it. I am not happy about it. So I gave Nathan $500 and he never paid me back. So now I wish I had not given him that money. Regret plus to infinitive is used to deliver bad news, to tell someone bad news. You're sorry that you have to say whatever it is that you're about to say. So here, a student failed a test, and the school or the testing center is sorry to tell the student that he failed the test. Number 5, go on. Jeff went on talking about his problems for hours. Versus, after watching the movie, we went on to talk about the parts of the movie we enjoyed the most. Go on plus ing means to continue doing the same thing. So Jeff continued talking about his problems for many hours. He's been talking for so long that we just got tired. Go on plus to infinitive indicates a change of activity. You do or say something new. So in the second sentence, we watched the movie first and we finished it. Then we started discussing the movie and sharing the parts of the movie that we enjoyed the most. And this brings us to the end of this lesson. But before we go, look at these 2 sentences. He stopped sharing his photos on Instagram. Versus, he stopped to share his photos on Instagram. What is the difference in meaning between these 2 sentences? Please let me know in the comments down below. And don't forget to like this video and remember to subscribe and hit the notification bell. That's all there is for today. Thank you, and as always, I hope you have learned something today.